Hello, I'm George Eldy from Wines by Nature, and tonight we present to you Meet the Staff. And one of the first persons ever to contact me and was hired on an instant, but he didn't know that, uh, is James Pyun. James's family has had, up until recently when his father and mother retired, Dima Liquors in Setauket. So when word got out I was opening up a shop, I got a phone call from James. He says, James, can I work? George, can I come work for you? I'm like, yes. And then I gave him like a 45-second fake interview, kind of asking some questions. But all along I knew that he was going to come in because not only do I know him, I know his family, I know the integrity and the knowledge that he had, and he was a complete asset to Wines by Nature, especially as a startup. So I don't know if I confessed that to you before, but yes, yeah. You had the job.
Yes, I when I got the call back, I was like, oh, nice, because as George said, he and my parents worked very much during their time at the shop, and we've come to have a good relationship throughout the years. So it was kind of a natural fit for me to ask, and it was very much a blessing to be given the opportunity to help you out. So
Yeah, even as your family sold the shop,
yes,
we ran into each other in different tastings.
yes,
We always had a little fun and talked together. So
yes,
it was really quite just like awesome to quote
yes.
you.
Yes. I want the royalties now, but yeah, it was definitely when I started working for my parents officially. It was one of those things where I began to appreciate what they did and like how all the hard work they put in helped pay for all my education, all the growing up mistakes I made. So it's one of those things where I grew up at the store, literally, not just as a kid, but
You were
became a man.
8 years old when they purchased the store.
Yes, so it was 1993 and 7, 8, 9, and I was there since I was a little kid. So it's been in my blood for quite a long
Yeah,
time.
so you grew up in the business.
Yes,
Wow. We can
yes,
say that 8-year-old working in a wine shop.
yes. Don't tell the SLA that. I might get in trouble, but no. But it was one of those things where I learned how to, throughout the years, how to treat people right, how to treat people with respect, how to work hard, though that took quite a long time, and just learn how to.
Business 101.
Yes.
Because Nicholas, my son, who's 11 years old, has become a little mini mayor here of the
Yes.
shops, and is really getting a lesson about Business 101 as he hops from shop to shop,
Yes.
working and talking with every shopkeeper around here. And if you ask him, he's great. He gives me a hard time, but I'm sure it was the same situation.
Oh, definitely. It's those priceless lessons you can't learn in school. It's one of those things where it's like the school of hard knocks. But I mean, with here, we're like, and when my parents had the shop where they were in Setauket, it was yet a community of other shopkeepers who were there to help each other out, and it was just one of those things where, even though things changed at our shopping center throughout the years, it made us grow closer together through the good times and the hard times, and it was helped me again grow up and become what I am today. So
And what you are today is a graduate student at Stony Brook University.
yes,
And you're doing hospital analytics, hospital management.
so kind of it's medical. Officially, it's called applied health informatics. So what it is you're helping doctors embrace technology, things like Googling, searching for things that help them do their job more effectively. A lot of it's information management, also like customer service, and just being better at what they already do and just providing better care. A lot of it is government mandated, so a lot of it they have to do, or else they can't do their job. So
A lot like what you do here.
yes, kind of, yes.
Practice on me and turn in education. Awesome.
Yes, very much so.
So, tell me about. A lot of times we're talking about the different chefs that come in here,
Yeah.
and I know as you're growing up, we're talking about different food and wine pairings.
Yes.
Tell me about what you're learning culinary food wise.
So I'll be frank, up until recently, my culinary experience was rather limited. I mean, one thing that helped about going to college in the city at NYU was you get exposed to so many different cuisines, so many different restaurants and gastro areas. And for a time, my palate did evolve. It wasn't until I worked with my parents officially around 2010 or 11 that when I started to actually be able to taste and appreciate some of the things they did with the wines and spirits that my culinary palate and my vocabulary took off. Like also helped was cooking at home. So my parents do get on me for being a little overweight, and one of the things they do tell me is to cook more. And I'm like, why? Now I understand why. So it's one of those things where you develop things with your palate that you couldn't do if you eat out all the time, like pairing foods, pairing food and wine, and yes, I've lost weight, so thank you, Mom and Dad. But slowly but surely, I'm starting to get the vocabulary up, and it's one of those things where I'm very privileged to work with you and be exposed to so many different restaurant and chef personalities. So
Yeah, it's a kind of a learn as you go, taste as you go. But yes, it definitely, if you're cooking at home, you can control the ingredients, and everyone says they're salt sensitive with no fats and butters, but what comes prepared or what's out there in a restaurant or prepackaged world is so much more different than if you were able to cut your vegetables, make your vegetables, and saute and
Exactly.
do everything else. And it's kind of probably a life skill that you would need just as a person. But
Yes.
yeah, so your food and so you've always had the food and wine knowledge, but now you're practicing what is
Yes.
preached.
Yes, better late than never. I mean, just as an example, I was cooking some meat the other day, and while I was eating, I was thinking to myself, this goes well with either a red blend, Bordeaux or Rhone. So I came into the shop, I was like, George, which is it, Rhone or Bordeaux? And we had this really nice discussion about food pairing and wine pairings and how, mushrooms can absorb flavor and other things that I'm like, of course this makes sense, but I just couldn't put into words until now. So it was definitely one of those like aha moments that better late than never, of course. So.
Right on. So in the food and wine business and the retail wines and spirits, where does your true passion align with?
So if you can see my shirt, save water, drink whiskey. Lately, my passion is very much the brown spirits whiskey, as they call in Gaelic, the water of life. So, for example, right now I developed like a Isla affinity. So the Scotch that's peaty, smoky, that you either swear by or swear at, that's my latest thing. But then again, I don't really get picky. So I can be happy with bourbon, I can be happy with rye, Irish, you name it. So that's where my passion
We've
is.
had great conversations when our distributors bring in the small family-run spirits as well as wines that we have here. Yeah, a lot of times you're initiating conversation about flavor, length, taste, how it compares to a national or bombastic brand,
Yes.
and how it correlates to, how it contrasts to. So that's been a lot of fun to find that, because even though I do appreciate the spirits, there's some ones I guess trying to get the key to unlock and trying to find out what exactly they're all about, how it relates to the bigger brands, how this is so much better.
Yes.
Even though I'm still a juvenile going through it and trying to stumble across some of the stuff. So sometimes rye is too spicy, but sometimes the corn whiskey is nice and round.
Yes.
So thank you for helping me navigate through and acquiring the taste, because sometimes it is acquired taste.
Yes. Example would be the Isla scotches. There's a time where I couldn't even sniff it. Now I sniff it. It's like an experience. It's one thing one time and another thing another time. It's like it keeps you guessing every time, and it's like a textbook that you can't even finish. It's so much of an experience. So it's definitely something that takes time. But once you go down the rabbit hole, you kind of don't want to get out. So
Yeah, and sometimes you get 2 or 3 different points of information, 2 or 3 points of reference, and all of a sudden, boom, the vocabulary opens up. So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, it's just like wine, but it's same skill set,
Yes.
same vocabulary. It's just putting your detective cap on the other side of your head, or so to speak.
Exactly. So yeah, definitely.
So appreciate you coming in and taking care of this side of the book for me, and putting together our mezcals, our scotches, our bourbons, our ryes, how to navigate the big bombastic. You know, you got to buy 100 cases to get one bottle, and navigating all of the cumberness of that, but also discovering and finding those small artisanal spirits that, you know, that makes our identity here.
Definitely.
So that it's fun and intriguing every time we go through that.
Yes.
And I know that you're here on a temporary basis, because I know you're going to go on to bigger and better things. But any moment, any time that you're here is a true blessing to have you here.
Definitely.
And it's very fun and enjoyable as we just consistently laugh
Yes.
all day long.
Yes. And it's just one of those things again where I feel like when I realized how similar when you open it and when my parents acquired DEMA back in '93, like I feel like I'm making up for all the past wrongs I did to my parents, and it's like, you know how karma kind of works in weird ways. It's kind of like that. So I am the privilege is mine also. So
Well, thank you for getting it right with me.
yes.
So, thank you.
Thanks.
So, once again, George and James from Wines by Nature. That's staff interview number 1. We have staff interview number 2 coming up with Chris Youngs, soon to follow. And once again, thanks you for following us here at Wines by Nature.
Yes, thank you.